enough to satisfy my 4 aunties, ensuring that the air filters weren't clogged with the dust that got into everything. I had a pretty dismal life on Jinju. I was counting the days until I turned 15. Just 2 more years left before I could take the entrance exams for the Thousand Worlds Space Forces and follow my brother June into the service. That was all that kept me going. The day the stranger came, though, that day was different. I was curled under my threadbare blanket, stubbornly clinging to sleep, even though light had begun to steal in through the windows. Then my oldest cousin, Bo-Ra's snoring got too loud to ignore. I often wished I had a room of my own, instead of sharing one with 3 cousins, especially since Bo-Ra snored like a dragon. I kicked her in the side. She grunted but didn't stir. We all slept on the same shabby quilt, handed down from my ancestors, some of the planet's first settlers. The embroidery had once depicted magpies and flowers, good luck symbols. Most of the threads had come loose over the years, rendering the pictures illegible. When I was younger, I'd asked my mom why she didn't use charm to restore it. She'd given me a stern look, then explained that she'd have to redo it every day as the magic wore off. Objects weren't as susceptible to charm as people were. I'd shut up fast, because I didn't want her to add that chore to my daily roster. Fortunately, my mom disapproved of charm in general, so it hadn't gone any further. All my life, I'd been cautioned not to show off the fox magic that was our heritage. We lived disguised as humans and rarely used our abilities to shapeshift or charm people. Mom insisted that we behave as proper civilized gumiho, so we wouldn't get in trouble with our fellow steaders, planet-bound residents of Jinju. In the old days, foxes had played tricks like changing into beautiful humans to lure lonely travelers close so they could suck out their lives. But our family didn't do that. The lasting prejudice against us annoyed me. Other supernaturals, like dragons and goblins and shamans, could wield their magic openly and were even praised for it. Dragons used their weather magic for agriculture and the time-consuming work of terraforming planets. Goblins, with their invisibility caps, could act as secret agents. Their ability to summon food with their magical wands came in handy, too. Shamans were essential for communicating with the ancestors and spirits, of course. We foxes, though, we had never overcome our bad reputation. At least most people thought we were extinct nowadays. I didn't see what the big deal was about using our powers around the house. We rarely had company. Few travelers came to the world of Jinju. According to legend, about 200 years ago, a shaman was supposed to have finished terraforming our planet with the dragon pearl, a mystical orb with the ability to create life. But on the way here, both she and the pearl had disappeared. I didn't know if anything in that story was true or not. All I knew was that Jinju had remained poor and neglected by the Dragon Council for generations. As I reluctantly let go of sleep that morning, I heard the voice of a stranger in the other room. At first I thought one of the adults was watching a holo show, maybe galactic news from the pearled halls, and had the volume turned up too high. We were always getting reports about raids from the jeweled worlds and the Space Force's heroic efforts to defend us from the marauders, even if Jinju was too far from the border to suffer such attacks. But the sound from our holo unit always came out staticky. No static accompanied this voice. It didn't belong to any of the neighbors either. I knew everyone who lived within an hour's scooter ride, and it wasn't just the unfamiliarity of the voice, deep and smooth, that made me sit up and take notice. No one in our community spoke that formally. Were we in trouble with the authorities? Had someone discovered that fox spirits weren't a myth after all? The stranger's voice triggered my old childhood fears of our getting caught. You must be misinformed. That was Mom talking. She sounded tense.